because I'm hot. So, I should always be hot because I'm hot. Y'all get it? You get it? Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to Rebuilding the Village talk show. I am your host, Aikira King, also known as Aikira Queen, among a lot of other things. And I'm here this afternoon, this late evening, going into the night because I thought it would be important for me to take the time out and do a show tonight for moms and celebrate mommies who struggle, mommies who work hard, mommies who have gone through tests, trials, and tribulations and continue to be a mommy. I have been told many times in my life that I give voices to those whose voices are unheard. And for those who know me, you know that I recently started a radio show as well as an organization called The Voice of Children Suffering in Silence. And if you're unfamiliar with The Voice of Children Suffering in Silence, then please go to The Voice of Children Suffering in Silence on Facebook and check out the page. My children are the hosts of the show. They've had a couple of shows, and we are working right now to revamp that show and bring it back to you guys. I'm working in overtime. But I mentioned The Voice of Children Suffering in Silence because I realized that as a mom, especially a mom of 9 beautiful children biologically and being a mom of a lot of adopted children, that moms, we aren't really able to actually voice the fact that we suffer, from different things silently as well. So tonight's show on Rebuilding the Village is dedicated to all the moms out there who are working very hard to be moms, working very hard to make sure that their children are taken care of, their homes are clean, bills are paid, they're going to work every day, and they're doing everything in their ability to make sure that their kids are okay, happy, healthy, all with a smile on your face. No matter what you may be going through in the moments of being a mom, you still do everything in your ability to be a great mom to your children. So this show is dedicated to you. If you read the caption on the show, whether you're watching via YouTube or Facebook or I don't think we have a caption on LiveMe, but if you watch if you read the caption pretty much says where the village began to be broken, or something to that aspect. How about that? But I wanted to start from the very beginning of time because recently I was watching the ID channel. A lot of people know that I love the ID channel. It's my absolute favorite channel. And if you're unfamiliar with what the ID channel is, it is the Investigation Discovery channel. And that channel talks about murders and all different type of things, unfortunately, that happen in our society that a lot of us wish that we didn't know about. And we all wish didn't happen, but the reality is it does happen. And so the other night I'm sitting in my bed and I'm watching the ID channel. And as I watch the ID channel, a story comes on that blew my mind. It was a lady who was a Caucasian woman. And the story started back in the 1900s, the early 1900s, when slavery slaves had become free. And the story was about how she would kidnap slaves. She had her family, and her family would go out and they would kidnap free slaves. They would kidnap these free slaves and they would take them and sell them to illegal slave traders. And that's how they made their money. That was their business, and that's what they did. And it blew my mind, right? Because here this is on the ID channel in 2017. And they're talking about the story because this woman was a really ruthless woman. This woman, she caught these people, if they did not go with her or they put up a fight, she would kill them. She took their children. She did horrible things. She would beat them. Whenever she had a whole family, she did what, she know her ancestors did back in the day, and she pretty much demeaned them. She took away their pride and took away their dignity by making them do things that were just, unthinkable things. And so I watched this episode, and it didn't have me as a lot of us African American people are, is to say, angry about slavery. It just gave me the realization of slavery, and it gave me the realization of our people, and the pain that was caused long time ago to all of our ancestors. And it also allowed me to put into perspective of rebuilding the village. And my goal and my mission for rebuilding the village is to start the healing process as to where it began, and to give that understanding of where the brokenness began in the village of our communities and our city, the ones that are being broken. And to all of everyone else in the world who is not African American, I'm gonna say, trust me, I am not saying that there are not issues going on around the entire world where the world is just falling apart. I just read a story today about, I had heard it already, but I read the story today about the victims in Texas. May they all rest in peace. And I'm sending my love, condolences, and my prayers to their families, who were all Caucasian and were killed inside of a church. And I mean, there were little kids, there were babies, there was a pregnant woman, it was a grandmother. It was horrible, and it was heartbreaking. However, in our day and time, that's a daily thing for us to see. Unfortunately, is we see daily our men, being gunned down, or we see, and it's in our community. So I'm not blaming anyone outside of our community. It's within our community that people are losing their lives and domestic violence situations. Women, and men too, killing their own children, taking their children's lives, and all that. And so tonight, I just wanted to discuss all of that, just discuss. And I mean, clearly, I can't discuss all of it because we would be here for days and days on end. However, I can just discuss a piece of it. And as heartbreaking as it is to be heard, the Rebuilding the Village talk show is a platform for things to be heard that need to be heard. And I think that this is something that's important to me. I think it should be important to you. And it's something that should be heard. So I hope you're listening. So if you're just tuning in via Facebook, please share this live. If you're tuning in live, please share this live. Facebook, you can invite your friends to this live. You can tell a friend to join on the live right now so that we can have this awesome conversation. I'm very, very interested in your comments. I'm interested in how you feel about the topic, how you feel about the situation that's going on around in our world today, with people losing their lives daily, not just by gun violence, but so many other things. Unfortunately, I'm curious, to know how you feel about it. So please feel free to comment. My YouTube watchers, if you're watching via YouTube, please comment in the comments. Tell me how you feel. So we're going to start with the beginning of time, which is what is in the caption that you see, and that's slavery. And of course, that stems from, my curiosity just on my mind, going from watching the episode that I watched, and just over the years, and even as a child learning about slavery and all that took place. And it's so weird. Where do I start, right? Where do you start when you talk about this? But we want to start with the domino effect, right? And I'm starting with slavery because for African American people to become slaves, period, was a hardship, and it was a hurting for all of African people. They weren't African American at first; they were Africans, and then they brought over to America, and then African Americans. So, but for Africans to have to be enslaved and brought over and have to, endure the hardship that none of us could even imagine of being slaves and being torn away from their homes, being torn away from their families, being raped, being beaten, and being killed, and being just, oh my God, just unthinkable things happening. As I sit here, I think of all those horrific movies that we all probably watch, like Kunta Kinte and Rosewood, or oh my God, Sankofa. If you've ever seen Sankofa, those movies give us, understanding of what those slaves went through. And if you know a movie right now, as I'm speaking on this particular topic, if you know a movie right now that is a movie about slavery, please comment it in the comments, because as we all know, this is something that has been taken out of the schools, and it's not something that's taught to our children the way it was taught to us. It's also not something that we've seen on TV like we did when we were growing up. It's something that's kind of, being pushed away. And a part of me wanted it to be pushed away because it's heartbreaking knowing about it. But after watching that episode on the ID channel where that white woman was enslaving freed slaves and kidnapping them, it made me think like, no, it shouldn't be pushed away. We should know where we come from, because it is the beginning of the hurt that was caused to our ancestors, that was passed down from generation to generation to generation. And then, now we have a society full of African-American people who are, Lord knows, they're hurting, they're lost, they suffer from mental illness, they've gone to drugs, and so many different, horrible things that have happened, from being passed down pain to passed down pain to passed down pain. So tell me how you feel about that. How do you feel about the overall, Lord, it's so much going through my mind right now. Y'all, let me tell you something. When I decided today that I was going to do this show tonight, and that's probably why my mind is so jumbled, right? Because it's like a million things going through my mind at one time. And if you know me and you know my shows are not scripted. I don't have producers running around here. I don't have, a whole staff putting together my show. It's just me, myself, and I when it comes to producing this show. And when I decided this morning that I was going to do this show, and I put together this little thing, I said, you know what? This is going to be hard to talk about, because there's so much to talk about. It's going to be hard to talk about. And as I sit here in front of this camera right now and try to relay what it is that's in my mind to all of you, and allow you to hear and understand the pain that I even felt watching that episode, and now understanding, like, the pain that's going on in Baltimore City, it started so long ago, and it's not just let's quick fix. Everybody wants to know, what can we do to quick fix the situation? Our people are dying, not just in Baltimore City, but all over the world. We have gun violence. We have people that are just running around wild, just doing insane things, walking into Walmart and shooting people. And, the slavery thing is important, because it honestly is where the pain began for our African-American people. But as I sit here, it's like, it's so many other things, because you know what, just as we may be upset or hurt or, broken because we were, well, our ancestors, not us, but our ancestors were enslaved and our ancestors endured pain. I wonder how white people feel, or Caucasian, I want to say Caucasian. I wonder how they feel having ancestors who did those things. Do you think they suffer like we suffer? Because, if, let's just say, for instance, God forbid, a relative of yours did some horrible things to a person. Let's just say one of your relatives from 10, 20, 30 years ago did something horrible and was a massacre. He created a massacre and he just killed all these people. And you are the ancestor, you are the descendant of that person. Like, how would you feel? So just as we are broken on the inside, maybe they are broken on the inside too. I'm just speaking what's in my mind, so I might be way off left field, but I don't know. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, like, what if they're broken too? However, the overall goal is to try and heal the pain that has been caused for years and years and years, and try to find a way for us to really come together and find a way for us to really rebuild all of the villages that have been broken and that are being broken as we speak. So you guys have the floor. You can comment in the comments and tell me what your solution may be, or what we could do, how we could change things, how we could better things. I started this video with a picture of my grandfather and my grandmother, who are still alive, thank God. My grandfather, I think, is 93 now, and my grandmother is 87, and they have been married for 62 years. And I started the video off with them, as well as the song that you heard, One Man Can Change the World, as well as I'll Rise Up. because those were inspirational songs. And these are two very inspirational people. And just thinking about the topic in itself, I'll tell you a little story about my grandfather. My grandfather was originally, you know what? I just thought about it. The story I was about to tell. I don't think I should tell it. You know how your grandfather tell you something that you know might not supposed to have told. And I was going to tell you because it's a really deep story about how it relates him to slavery. But in this moment, I just thought like, maybe that's not a good idea because that might not be a story he once told. So I'm going to just say this. My grandfather told me a story once that related to slavery and racism and something that happened to him and our family during his early ages, teenage years. And I'm trying to say it when I was telling y'all a story, but when he told me that story as well, it stayed with me all the days. It's still with me right now. And in thinking about this topic today, we're talking about how it started, how slavery, was one of the things that started the brokenness in our communities. It just made me think about him because I'll tell you this. My grandfather did everything in his power to make sure he provided for his family and kept his family together. And it's a blessing that he was born during the time that he was, because even though there was racism during that time, he was able to go to the North where he could, provide for his family, get a job, work, get a house, and take care of his family and take care of his wife and take care of his children, and that was a beautiful thing because years before, from the stories that, I was being told, men were being taken away from their family, even after slavery. Men were being taken away from their families. And the man being taken away from the family is what really broke everything. I believe broke everything when it comes to the stability of the home and the stability of the village. Because once you have women and children left to have to fend for themselves pretty much, and the women have to be the mom and the dad and raise the children, and the man has been taken away, whether he's taken away because he's been taken away due to slavery or taken away due to racism or whatever being taken away, that leaves brokenness in the household. And now in 2017, the men are being taken away by their lives are being taken away, their freedom is being taken away. And still women are being left to be mothers and being left to take care of these children and left to do the duties of the women and the men, the man and the woman, the mother and the father. They're being left to have to do that all on their own. And that's hard. So now you have them at home and they're taking care of the babies and they're taking care of the household. And now they got to get a job and they got to be able to take care of their kids. And now the man is gone. That creates hardship now on a child as well, because 9 times out of 10, I know you've heard in your time, whether it was in your family or somebody else's, where the oldest sibling had to be a mother to the younger siblings. And when the oldest sibling had to be a mother to the younger siblings, then that took away that older sibling's childhood or took away their teenage years and created a hardship on that child. And so it just goes on and on and on and on. Lord knows, you know what? I'm a map a show out where I can talk about each one of these things individually, piece by piece. Because there's another piece to this that I wanted to discuss with you guys as well tonight. You ever thought about how and now I'm going to put it up to like maybe the 50s, right? I read a book one time called God Don't Like Ugly. And in God Don't Like Ugly, there was a young lady in the book, unfortunately, who mother had to move her and her daughter to a town where she rented a room from an older man, and the older man molested her the entire time she was living with this, renting a room, in this place. And, that today, I thought about that book today because you ever think like when the father leaves the home and the woman has to go out here and she either has to move in with another man to take care of her child, or she moves a man in. Now in 2017, women are in control. So women, Women, they have their own houses, they have their own apartments, they have their own jobs. So 9 times out of 10, they're moving a man in. Either way, the father has gone, and now another man has to move in. So here we go with the step parent, the stepdad. And 9 times out of 10, the stepdad becomes a child molester and steals away that child's innocence, that child's life, because now he's the child molester. And so the dad is gone, the stepdad is in, the mom is doing everything she possibly can to take care of her and the children. And now the stepdad is here. And the mom sees the stepdad as, oh, well, he's my savior. He's my everything. This is my man. I don't want to grow old by myself. I don't want to be alone. I need to have a man. Stepdad probably got a good job. Now in 2017, that's kind of like but back in the day, it used to be a thing. The stepdad had a good job, and the stepdad was, he was contributing to taking care of you too. So the mom was like, well, it's nothing wrong here. And the whole time, the child was being molested or being raped, which creates what? A whole nother domino effect of hurt, pain, passed on generation to generation to generation. So, and rebuilding the village tonight, right now, in this very moment, let me tell y'all, there's so many things that need to be discussed, but because it's like all jumbo right now, I'm just like, I don't know which one is more important. I think the entire journey is important. The entire journey from slavery all the way to now is important, but I'm going to map that out in portions so that we can do a show on each and every one of them, and I can come to you guys and present it a lot better so that it could be more understood and more mapped out. But you guys still can comment in the comment and tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts on the topic. Tell me your thoughts on things that I've said. Tell me how you feel about just all of it in a whole. And so, okay, moving on, we're going to talk about mommies who suffer in silence. So clearly from everything, from that journey of, the mother being left and having to take care of her child, or not even the mothers being left, there are some moms who suffer in silence who are actually married, who actually have husbands, who actually have men that are living in the household with them and possibly helping them to raise their children, but they still suffer in silence too. So this portion of the show is dedicated to them, and you guys can help me. If you are a woman right now and you're watching this show right now, you have the ability to help another woman. Okay, so your way of helping another woman is commenting in the comments and tell me, what is something that you possibly suffered from silently before as a mom that you now have overcome, and now you can say, okay, I suffered from that, but I got through that, and this is how I got through. So I'll, of course, because I'm behind the camera, I'll start off and tell you guys a little bit about my suffering in silence as a mom. So I became a mom when I was 14 years old. I was 14, and I was a part of the Muslim community. I was going to a Muslim school, and I became a wife and a mom. I got married basically because in Islam, you get married when you go into puberty. And it was just kind of pushed on me over and over again, like, you should get married, you should get married, you should get married. So I got married and had my first child when I was 14. And that kind of began my suffering of silently suffering as a mom. So hold on, let me try to get something so I can show you guys. Okay. Well, before I finish, did anybody comment about the suffering of mom?
Someone said, talk about positive stuff, don't rehash stuff. Rehash stuff. That's it.
Okay. So, oh wait, hold on. Okay. I had to go look real quick. Okay. So moms who suffer in silence. So y'all, if y'all only knew what I be going through over this joint. But so like I said, I became a mom when I was 14, and becoming a mom when I was 14, pretty much, and a wife as well, started my suffering. And I'll tell you, it started my suffering as a mom silently because I knew religiously that I needed to be a wife. I knew morally that being a wife meant that I needed to make sure my husband was happy. And becoming a mom, being as though I have a great mom and I have a great grandmother, I have a great great grandmother, I had a great grandmother on both sides. I was surrounded by great women who were mothers and wives. So I had a legacy of women who I wanted to follow in the footsteps of. However, I just did not understand at 14 how to even really do that. You know what I mean? So, and I, at 14, that shouldn't be what a 14-year-old has to do. So for me personally, it started my suffering silently because I never wanted to speak out loud and say the things that I just said to all of you. I never wanted to, I never even wanted to say out loud that I didn't know how to be a wife. I never wanted to say out loud that I didn't know how to be a mom. I didn't want to say those things out loud. So what I did was I just silently cried, prayed, and just kept it moving. I did everything by mimicking what I saw my mom do, my grandmothers do, my aunties doing. And because my first marriage was so young and I was so not ready, and he was so not ready, to be married either. Wow, that's the first time I said that. Just realized that about him not being ready. Because for a long time I was angry with him because he was such a bad husband to me. But now I understand that he wasn't ready just like I wasn't ready. Okay, y'all, talk about maturing. But he wasn't ready. And so that first marriage was extremely hard. And all I could do was just cry to myself and pray. God, just give me the ability and the strength to just keep going, and give me the strength to just not give up, and give me the strength to be a good mother. Give me the strength to be a good wife. And God blessed me to get through those 5 years, y'all. Lord knows they were some long 5 years, but he blessed me to get through it. But I did not get through it by telling people what I was going through. I just got through it by praying. And I felt like, okay, well, I should just continue to do that. And so there were times when I experienced things like when I was 18 and I had my third child by 18. And when I had my third child, I was really distraught. I was really confused because one of the other things that people don't know, when you see somebody that have a lot of kids, you just be like, oh my God, that person is careless, or that person is this or that, whatever. People form their opinions. That's what people do. But I actually got pregnant on birth control. So it wasn't like it was planned or anything like that. I was actually taking birth control and trying to be as cautious as I possibly could, but again, I was a married woman, and in Islam, you're not supposed to use any type of contraceptives. But God dang it, I was like, I already have 2 babies. Lord. So anyway, I'm 18 and I'm on my third child, and I'm trying my best to be a good mom, get my kids to school. I was going to school at the time. I was working, and I'm just trying to, keep everything afloat. And I remember one day I took my kids to daycare. I got on a bus, and I had this big stroller. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but they used to have this stroller. They may still have it, but it's a double stroller with a car seat. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you something. That double stroller with the car seat, it's good because once you get off the bus, it's good. But when you catching a bus with that thing, it's like hell. So I'm getting on the bus, right? And I'm taking the kids to school and I'm folding this big stroller. I've got the car seat and I'm taking the baby and I'm going to sit down. And I just broke down crying. And this lady's like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? Like, it's going to be okay. They're going to get older soon. You know, it's going to be all right. You know, you're going to get through this. And I'm like, she don't even know what I'm crying for. But she was right. It was because of them kids. But I'm like, dang, she don't even know what I'm going through. But I guess she kind of did because she was a woman and she was a mother. And I still didn't open my mouth to tell her what I was going through or why I was crying or why I was, you know, just broken up that day. But her taking the time to rub my back and talk to me and give me those few words was a blessing for me because it allowed me to keep going that day. And I went through that day, went to school, went to work, you know, I did everything I needed to do, got back, got my kids, and got home. And I remember feeling accomplished until them kids was driving me crazy all over again, and I was in there by myself. And I thought, Lord, I just want to die. Like, I cannot deal with this. This is too much. This should not be my life at 18. At 18, there are girls who are graduating high school, that's going to prom, that are, you know, going to parties. There are girls who are just living their lives at 18. And Lord, here I am, and I'm somebody's wife who doesn't love me, who don't want to be with me. I'm somebody's mom. These kids don't like me because all they do is run around and cry. You know, I was going through the blues, but I did not say this to anyone. I said, you know, I kept it all inside. I didn't even speak out loud. Like now, y'all, now that I'm 34 and I'm at an age where I understand these things, now I talk out loud. So I don't suffer in silence. I speak out loud. That's why I'm speaking to y'all right now. Like, so this whole show, like this is why I'm speaking to y'all right now. Like it might have started off a little crazy because I was going in a whole lot of different directions. But right now, this is one of the reasons I have this show, so that I can have a platform so that I can tell you about my testimonies, and God willing, my testimony will help you through whatever you may be going through. Because there may be some single moms out there right now who went through or are going through what I went through. And if you're going through that, this is a testimony that allows you to know that you're going to get through it. Because let me tell you something. Today, those 3 children that was running around driving me crazy, crying, screaming, and doing all kind of crazy stuff, they are now 19, 17, and 16 years old. So they're no longer babies. They're the oldest 3 of my crew. And now I look at them and I'm just like, wow, I made it. I made it. Like I made it through those moments when I wanted to die. I made it through those moments when I didn't think I would be able to go on. I made it through those moments, and it was just by, you know, God. But this is the reason I'm sharing this stuff with you, is because I personally believe that had I broken my silence a long time ago, and had I did something like gone and gotten counseling or went to saw a therapist, you know, or had, you know, somebody that I really felt like would really hear me or hear my tears and not be ashamed of my tears or not feel, you know, bad about my tears or bad about my fears or any of those things. Had I had that, you know, I probably wouldn't have gone through as much as I did in the 19 years that I've been a mom. You know, it might have been a little bit easier because it's a lot easier once you start talking to a person, once you start getting all of those feelings out, once you actually, you know, find a way to deal with those situations. So, is this something you want? Okay.
Darlene Carter said, I hope this show blesses someone because we need positive things to watch and guidance, positive role models, people that can have empathy. This is my first time viewing this. Good luck.
Thank you, Darlene. I pray that this has some, you know, some positive impact on somebody's life. I pray that, you know, moms out there that are cooking and cleaning and washing clothes and wiping noses and, you know, forgetting to eat because they're so busy trying to make sure their babies eat. I pray that those moms know that they get to see this video and that they know that, you know, this is something that so many other moms are going through. But there's a way to get through it other than just being silent about it. Because the problem with being silent, ladies and gentlemen, is when you're silent about all of the pain that you're feeling on the inside, or your stress, or your worries, or your doubts, or, you know, whatever, when you're silent about it, that's when it builds up and it causes you pain inside, mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know, one of the things I used to pray about when I was a little bit younger. One of the things I used to pray about all the time is that God didn't allow me to go crazy. I still pray about that, to be honest. It's one of my daily prayers, because when you're so overwhelmed with being a mom, you can't, you know, one of the reasons we suffer in silence is because you don't have time to show your emotions. You don't have time to, you know, sit down all the time and just be like, oh my God, I just want to cry. I just want to fall apart. Or, you know, we always say things like, oh, I need a vacation. And oh my God, you know, we don't have time to do that. So we got to keep it moving. Everything got to keep going, especially if you're a single mom. And I'm not going to say especially if you're a single mom, because I was a mom that was married before too. Like I said, I was married, you know, 14, and then I was married again when I was 21. And both of my marriages, you know, I can't say being a mom was easier with my marriages as they should have been. My second marriage, maybe. But as far as making sure that my kids had and that my children were taken care of, that was all the time, you know, and I still suffered silently, you know, as a married mom, because not only do I now have to take care of my children, but I also now have to take care of my husband. I also now have to make sure that my husband is taken care of, as well as the children. The bills are still paid. See, I was the type of mom, well, I'm not going to say was the type of mom. I was the type of wife who actually was the breadwinner. I was the one who was the provider. I was the one who took care of everything. I was the one who made sure that the bills were paid, the house was clean, the food was on the table every night, children had the clothes on their back. He was the one, in my second marriage, he was the one who was home changing diapers, being honest. He was home changing diapers. So he was like the house mom / dad, or the house dad. We'll just say that. He was the house dad. And that was fine and everything, because of course, you know, the children needed to have a dad there with them, until we actually had babysitters and nannies and daycare centers in place to where they could go to daycare, and then dad could have actually got a job and contributed to the household. But, you know, not doing that, it left so much more stress on me. And for 7 years I was married, the second time, you know, those 7 years, I was so silent about all of those different things. So, you know, I never just jumped up and said, oh my God, like, you know, I was happy to have a husband. I never jumped up and said, oh my God, he's getting on my nerves. He won't get a job. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out because I gotta work. I'm so stressed out because I can't do this for the kids. Or I wasn't a whiner. You know, I wasn't a crybaby about things. And I'm not saying this, crybaby is okay. Be a crybaby if you have to be. You know, but I didn't do those things. I just allowed everything to stay inside, and I allowed myself to cry on the inside. I did cry on the outside. I'm not going to say that I didn't, but I never cried to people on the outside. I never was one of those women that went crying to people like, oh my God, this is what I'm going through in my life. You know, I just didn't do that. You know, so that was a bad thing though. That was a bad thing for me not to do, because not saying tell all your friends or your girlfriends or your homegirls. I'm not saying go do that, because that's a definite no. Don't do that. But get a therapist to talk to about what you're going through, because if you don't get out what's going on the inside, it'll only manifest it'll manifest, and it will just create heartache, real heartache. It'll create stress on your heart. You'll be like, how did I have a heart attack at 35? Because of all that you was holding on the inside. You got migraines, your head hurt, you know, probably because your brain is tired of all that you got going on up there. Your back is aching, and you thinking, well, what's going on with my back? You know, your body will definitely react to the same to stress. It'll react to stress. It'll react to pain. It'll react to all of those things. So you have to take care of you. One of the things people used to tell me all the time that I didn't take heed to back then, but I do now, is that you have to take care of you before you can take care of anyone. And if you're a mom, it's like, what? How am I going to do that? How is that supposed to happen? Like, what? Like, I don't get it. You know, you don't really understand or comprehend how you're supposed to take care of you before anybody else, because once you become a mom, it's like, no, everything is surrounded around that child. Once you become a wife, forget a wife. Even if you're a girlfriend, you're a dedicated girlfriend, and you want to make sure your man is good, and you forget about you. But let me tell you something. God has blessed me to learn to start taking care of me. He's blessed me to learn that I am important and just as important as my children are. You know, he's blessed me to understand that it is important for me to make sure that I am okay, mentally, physically, emotionally, and in every way. He's blessed me to understand that. So therapy is something that I'm not afraid of. Going and seeing a counselor is something that I'm not afraid of now. Having to talk with a preacher is something that I don't fear anymore. Having to talk with an imam, it's cool. I can do that now. You know, having to tell you guys that, yes, I am a woman and a mom who has suffered in silence. I don't have a problem with telling you guys that now, because now I'm 34 years old. I'm the mom, still a single mom. I'm divorced twice, and I take care of my children by myself. I don't get help from any outside entity or any outside person. It's just me and mine. And let me tell you something. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm okay with that. But I embrace it, and I understand that to be able to do what I do, to be able to be the woman that I am and the mother that I am to my children, that I have to take care of me. I have to take care of me mentally, physically, emotionally, and in all that ways, even financially. Sometimes, let me tell you something, you know, we got to make sure our babies got everything that they need, right? We want to make sure that they have the best of the best, you know. And sometimes, well, before, I used to just be like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about me. I remember one time I looked in my closet, right? And I'm looking in my closet to find something to wear. And I said, oh my God. You know how you find those clothes, you look in your closet and you're like, wow, I had this since, 2001. I had this since, 2004. I'm looking in my closet and I see a dress hanging that I wore in 1998. I said, oh my Lord, no, that's out of line. I was like, Lord, if I don't go and find myself something new, if I don't go buy myself something new, because I deserve to have something new. Like, let me go ahead and buy myself a dress, but let me tell you that it's a catch-22 to that, because it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because the good part is I started realizing, let me spend some of this money that I worked so hard for on me too. And then that's a good thing. The bad thing is I was like, okay, let me do this more often, and it got to be more often, and then I had a spending problem. So don't go overboard, ladies. But I'll say this: even if I do go overboard, I won't go overboard to where I don't make sure that my babies have what they need before I treat myself to anything, even the dinner. To find the time, moms, to take yourself out to dinner. I have to learn. Being a single mom is hard, right? Because nobody wants to go out by themselves. Nobody wants to have dinner by themselves. Nobody wants to just have that, oh, let me just go ahead and go out by myself and go to the bar. Because it's like, oh my God, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be by myself. But let me tell you something. I started going out by myself, and I started like, oh, okay. This is okay. It's actually okay. Unfortunately, I started going out with my little laptop and my iPads and started working at the table while I was eating. I remember one time I was at Olive Garden and I had ordered all this food, right, and wine and stuff, and the lady comes out and she's like, well, I don't know where I'm gonna put your food, because you got your notebook right here, you got a pad right here, you got a laptop up, you got the iPad. I don't know what I'm gonna do with your food. So I had to put it all away to say, okay, wait, this was my moment to take a second to myself, for myself, and treat myself. So I'm gonna need to put all of this away and actually take this time for me. Taking time out for just you. If you have to do that by yourself, do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. Find time to do something for you, because I'm telling you, if you don't, it's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy, and you just gonna find yourself being miserable and being sad and just being a whole lot of built up frustration and pain and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you, right? So I have a program starting soon, God willing. Let's pray on it right now. Lord, please bless me to be able to get this mentoring program for these young mothers up and running by 2018. Lord, please bless me. Amen. All right, say amen. So I have this mentoring program that I'm designing right now for young mothers. And the mentoring program is to help to give them the necessities that they need mentally, physically, and emotionally, the necessities that they need to be able to be great moms. So because I was a young mom coming into I was a child having a child, unfortunately, but because I was a mom, I know the struggles of being a young mom and not having the what do I want to say? Not structure, because I was blessed to have structure in my life, but not have the people around that you really to direct you. So although I was blessed to have my mom and my dad and my grandmas and all those type of people, I'm not even from Baltimore, so it was just my mom and dad here. So, and my mom and dad, they come from whole households. They don't come from broken households, so they really couldn't relate, or still can't relate, to what I go through on a day-to-day basis with having a husband who wasn't a husband, or having a father to my children who wasn't a father to my children and still isn't. They can't relate to that. But it was hard for me to, grasp on, okay, let me do things this way. Of course, second nature, we're going to be moms, but I want to be able to help other young mothers through that journey. They don't have to be young mothers who don't have a child's father and be a single parent. Just a young mother, period. From teaching these young women how to fix bottles, to how to take care of themselves, to how to take care of their babies, to how to just be okay, giving them the skills that they need to be great moms, giving them the inspiration, inspirational speeches and inspirational conversations and encouragement and motivation to be great moms. Those are the things that I'm implementing in my new program, Mommies and Me, Just Mommy and Me mentoring program. Also, unfortunately, there are a lot of young women that get pregnant and don't know what to do and don't know who to turn to, and they don't want to talk to anybody about it. Well, you see, I talk a lot, and I have been blessed to work with a lot of young women as a youth advocate, a mentor, and a counselor for young women. And so in my experience, I've never had a young woman who's not listened to me, who has not had conversation with me, not taken my advice, not transformed their life. So I feel like if I was blessed to be able to have the ability to transform these young women's lives and they didn't have children, well, some of them did, God, I pray that God blesses me with the ability to be able to do that with my mentoring program. And so my goal is to be able to reach as many young women as I can, and to have my program actually be in hospitals and offer to young mothers who have babies from the age of 12 to 24. I also plan on just doing Mommy and Me activities to teach them how to do different things with their babies, all kind of things. So Just Mommy and Me mentoring program, God willing, I'm going to speak it into existence, will be in effect in 2018. So please look out for that. Other than that, let me just shout out all of these moms real quick. There are so many moms, right, that I would love to shout out right now, but I said, let me just real quick, the moms that I talk to on a daily basis, I'll say, and moms that are just always just right there, I said, let me just shout them out really quickly before I end my show. So I would like to say to my mom is an amazing mom. If you don't know her, her name is Cookie King. Miss Cookie King, I am blessed to be your daughter. I'm grateful to be your daughter. You have been a blessing as a mom. I mean, you've given me unconditional love, unconditional support, and it's been a blessing being your daughter. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that. You're phenomenal, and I'm grateful to have you as my mom. I want to especially say to Aisha Spencer, Aisha, I always say that when I say your name. Aisha, you have been my friend for over 20 years, and I watched you be blessed to marry your Prince Charming, your true love, and it's been a blessing, and I'm grateful to even have been able to witness that. You become a mom, and you are a phenomenal mom. Your children are absolutely beautiful. You work hard to make sure that they have everything that they need, and you're a great wife. You're just absolutely beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, Aisha Spencer will be a guest on this show next week, so I won't be sitting here rambling, talking y'all heads off by myself. I will have Aisha Spencer here in the building with me, talking about her new business that she's doing as a mom, trying to work from home so that she can be home with her babies. Rochelle White is next on my list. Miss Rochelle, baby. It's so much I want to say to you. It's so much I want to say to you, but I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about Rochelle. Rochelle is one of the first single moms I remember meeting. I remember seeing Rochelle, and the first thing I thought when I saw Rochelle was, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty, and she's a mom." Like she just was this young, nice looking, fit. You know, not that moms couldn't look like that, right? But she looked like a model. You know, she was really pretty, and she still is gorgeous. But she was the first single mom I remember. Thinking that about, you know, like, wow, so she has these two babies. At the time, she had a toddler and she had an infant. And I was like, oh my, I was just amazed. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's so funny, right? I was friends with Rochelle's sister. So I didn't know Rochelle personally. I only knew her sister and I knew her children. So I love children back in the day. So I'm changing Pampers and helping with the babies and playing with the babies. It was a joy for me to be able to, you know, interact with the kids. And whenever I saw Rochelle, I was just like, wow, like I was just so amazed by her. And she had her own place and, you know, she was working. I just thought she was just this great single mom. For her to be a single mom, it just was just amazing to me. And I'm shouting her out today because unfortunately, you know, Rochelle has gone through some things over the years, and I feel it's necessary for me to say this to her via live for the world to know. Rochelle, you are human. Okay, that's first. You are human. You are human, and when we are human, we can only be as good as we try to be. You know what I'm saying? None of us are perfect, but we are human. We make mistakes. We, you know, we live and we learn. And one of the things I have watched when it comes to you being a mom is you actually being a mom. I've never seen you be anything other than a mom. I have seen you be a harder mom than what I would say. Like, you know, there's some moms out here that's just like, oh, I'm the loving mom, but I don't take no ish, you know, type of mom, or the old go overboard mom. Overall, I've watched you be a mother to your two daughters, and I've watched you raise them. You know, I've watched you from the time they were babies. You've always been my supermodel mom because you're just gorgeous, you're beautiful. You know, you kept a job, you kept them fed, you kept them always looking cute. They always had the cutest clothes. You know, I just always admired you as a mom, and you may not know that, but I want you to know that today, that I have always, from the very first time I saw you, admired you as a mom. Even understanding that you were a single mom and not really knowing what a single mom was, but I was like, okay, so where they dad at? You know? And then, you know, I was told like, no, well, their dad doesn't live here. She raises them by herself. And I'm like, wow. So you have always been an amazing mom to me. And no matter what anybody ever says in this life, and not that I'm the only person that matters, but but no matter what anybody ever says in this life, I want you to know that you are a phenomenal mom. I admire you. You are beautiful. And I pray that God blesses you to be able to just feel the joy of being a mom, to, you know, be relieved of any pain that you feel from being a mom. You know, I just pray that all good things come to you because you have been a great mom to your daughters. And I just pray, you know, for you. So shouting out Rochelle White. Mwah, love you, boo. Next on the list is, of course, my sis, Miss Kia Welcham. Kia Lovebug, you are, I mean, I do I need to say it at all? Kia. Kia, you, I've watched you as a mom as well. I'm tell y'all a little bit about how I met Kia. Kia was walking in the parking lot, and anybody know where Utah Marshburn is. Kia was walking. Hold on real quick. 1 second, y'all. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm I'm coming, I'm coming. I just need to make sure that this is right. And y'all know I'm working the cameras. I'm working everything all at one time. Hold on the dice. Hold on the dice. And y'all know I got dogs in here. So don't act like y'all surprised y'all hear baby down there going off. Because that's what he did. All right. Here you go. Okay, back real quick. So my sister Kia Welcham, and I met Kia walking across the Utah Marshburn parking lot. Phil, she was going, I guess, to get her children from school, and she was pushing this stroller with who I thought was my niece in it. So, a mutual friend of ours was dating my brother, and she told me and my family that she had, been pregnant and had a baby. Brought the baby to our house and everything. And I'm thinking that this is my niece. So, I'm young. At the time, I think I was about 11 years old. I think it was maybe 12 or 13. And so I'm thinking that this is my niece. And so I see this girl pushing the same stroller that my friend, my brother's girlfriend, had. I see her pushing this stroller and I see the baby and it looked like my niece. So I go up to her and I'm like, "You got my niece?" I'm like, "Oh, you got my niece?" She's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Who are you?" So it's funny because we started off like, I'm a little girl at the time. She's a grown woman. And I'm just like, "Why you got my niece?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm telling my mother." So I run to my house to go tell my mom, like, "Ma, this lady got my niece. This lady got Darian baby." Oh, shoot, my brother. Oh, well, it is what it is. Y'all know. I'm like, "This lady got her baby," and my mom come out, and this is no big old thing, but all in all, the girl was like, Kia was a girl. Kia's like, "This is my daughter." So it turns out the mutual friend of ours was lying. That wasn't her daughter. She had just faked the whole pregnancy and faked that was her daughter. She was a babysitter for Kia and had been coming around with the baby because she was babysitting. Oh, well, anyway. But from that moment, I started seeing Kia more and more in the neighborhood, and every day walking, I still was able to see the baby and be a part of the baby's life. And Kia and I have been friends ever since. So we're talking about 20 years of friendship, between her and I. And I have watched this woman raise. She has 5 children, 5 beautiful children. One who unfortunately is no longer here. Rest in peace to my nephew Tavon. He was taken about 5 years ago from us. But she has stood. God, I can't get the word out, y'all. She has stood strong as a mom. I've watched this woman go through hell and back, from being in an abusive marriage to, having her house burned down, having her son's life taken, people throwing her name through the mud, losing her car, losing her houses. I have watched this woman go through so much. I watched her go through so much, y'all. I promise you, this is the truth. I get chills and emotional every time I think about it, right? But I watched her go through so much that this is the one woman in the world that get it together. I pray for more than I pray for anybody, because I watched her go through that much. I saw her pain, and I just kept praying, "God, please just bless her." You ever wanted somebody to have more than you have? You ever had somebody in your life that you really wanted them to have just great things? Like, I wanted her to have a mansion. I wanted her to have a brand new car. I wanted her to have a pretty house. I wanted her to have everything. I felt like she deserved it. So I prayed and asked God to give it to her because I felt like she deserved it, you know. And as I'm praying for these things through these times when she's going through things, I start watching God bless her. I started watching God bless her. God bless her with this house, and then God bless her with the new car. God bless her with things that she needed. And even though it wasn't what I was really picturing in my mind, because I was like, God, give her a mansion. I want her to have a mansion. Even though it wasn't those things, just seeing her be happy and content with what God was blessing her with allowed me to be happy and content with what she was being blessed with as well. And even in my eyes, even though I wanted to see her in this amazing mansion and this, Rolls Royce car and all of this, I'm like, God gives us what he wants us to have. And he gives us what he feels as though we need. So I'm just grateful that God blessed me to have such a strong friend who I call my sister, And she says all the time, blood could not make us any closer. She is a mother who has persevered through tests, trials, and tribulations and stood strong and been a sister to me, even through times when, people would say, no, she, y'all know my dogs be trying to get in the video with me. But, people have tried to break the bond that we have. People have tried to tell me, oh, no, like you think she's your friend. No, she not. Oh, she this or she that. Kia is an amazing woman. She's an amazing mother. She does everything in her power to make sure that her children have. She makes sure that they have what they need as well as the things that they want. She had a whole goddamn car club come down McMeccan Street to bring her son in for his 18th birthday. She's just amazing. I could go on and on and on about her, but I'm shouting her out tonight to let you guys know, to let the world know that Kia Welcham is an amazing mother, and she's a mother who suffered in silence many times. I've seen her hold back tears to catch mine, and I want to say thank you, Kia, for doing that for me, because you're the big sister. And it's been plenty of times when I was like knocking on that door, breaking down, crying, and seeing that she was going through something too. And although I wanted to take it back, like, okay, no, like, you go ahead and tell me what you want to do first, then I'll tell you. She like, no, it ain't about me. It's about you. I'm your big sister. You tell me what you're going through. And and she would literally catch my tears instead of catching her own. So thank you, Kia. And all right. Sister Sonia is a friend of my mom's, and she's an awesome mom. Sister Sonia, I've just always looked up to you as well. You're a beautiful woman, a great mom, and I've seen you move all the way away from here just to raise your kids in a better way. Tanika, shout out to Tanika. Tanika is a friend of mine as well. Been my friend for a very long time. Shout out to her. Halima is my sister-in-law, and she's also a phenomenal mom and grandma. Anana, I don't know if she caught up to me yet, but she's close to catching up to me. She has like 7, I think, children, and she's got an amazing husband, and she's an awesome mom. Anana is taking care of her mom, which is freaking amazing. Her mom, unfortunately, suffers from dementia, and Anana is just amazing, because to be able to be a mom and a wife, take care of your children, and take care of your mom all at the same time is amazing. You are an amazing mom. You're beautiful, and you've always been a great friend to me. Thank you, Anana. Philonise Rock. She has some beautiful children, and she's gone through some tests, trials, and tribulations. And recently, we've been in each other's company, and we catching her tears while she catching ours. And I just want to say, Philonise, you rock. You're an amazing mom, and I'm very proud of everything that you've been doing lately. Crystal is a friend that was a Facebook friend, and now she is like family to me. She's an amazing woman. She's a great mother. She is just a phenomenal person. Crystal has helped out with Just Mommy and Me from behind the scenes. She showed up to my house with bags of clothes for the mothers and their children. She's a phenomenal woman. Thank you, Crystal, for being my friend, for supporting me with Just Mommy and Me. Thank you. Princess is my friend from grade school, and Princess, you are you're a phenomenal mom and a great woman. Janae so fine. That's her name on Facebook, y'all. Janae, you are amazing. You are a great mom. I envy you, because you are very strong, and I've watched you go through things with your children, and not one time have you broke. So please, I pray that God continues to give you the strength to be there and be the mom you are to your children. Lavette. What more can I say? Lavette is the type of mom every kid probably wants to have, because Lavette don't know how to say no. Okay? Lavette is a spoiler mom. Like, whatever her kids want, I don't care. Look, we could be out and we're trying to get things for the, like budget money, and then her kids like, oh, they don't even gotta ask her. She sees something like, oh, he needed that or he wants that. So she'll take her last penny and buy a gumball machine. And that's what our kid wanted. Just to say, I got that because my baby wanted that. I love Lavette. Lavette has the biggest heart. She's the sweetest, and she's just a phenomenal mom. And Lavette, I love you, Vet. Kelly, I love you. You're a phenomenal mom as well. I watched you struggle, and you came to me during a time of need, and I'm grateful to just be able to have you as a friend still. Marquita, shout out to you down in North Carolina. You're a phenomenal mom, because girl, you did some phenomenal stuff. Your baby, your daughter, they was trying to get her from you. You snatched that baby back like, where they do that at? And got your baby, took your baby where you needed to take her to safety, and you are phenomenal because you have been raising her and taking care of her ever since. And I just commend you on that. Nettie, shout out to you. You're in a hospital right now. Nettie, everybody please say a prayer for her. She's in a hospital right now, and she actually has the same condition I had when I was pregnant with my last child. And so just pray for her and her children. Erica, Tiara's cousins, Tiara's cousin. Tiara's my baby mama. Shout out to my baby mama. My baby mother is Tiara Williams. Tiara Williams and I share a 7-year-old daughter together. And although Tiara Williams is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs sometimes, she is my baby mama. And she definitely is a great mother to our daughter. She goes above and beyond to make sure that she has everything that she needs and everything that she wants. Let me tell you something. Real quick, one time, I call her and I'm telling her, I need to get her some earrings or something like that. And so this fool pops up with $400 what's the MK earrings for this little girl. And she was like 2 years old. I said, oh, you done lost your mind. But so Tiara, people that follow me and follow Tiara, I'm sure they see the difference when Caden is over there with Tiara and when Caden is over here. Because over here, I don't have no $1 million to just, let me just every 5 minutes buy something new. Not when you're going to do that. It's not over here. You got to get in where you fit in. But shout out to Tiara. I love you so much. Thank you for being an awesome mom to our daughter. Nafisa Gomez. Nafisa, shout out to you, baby. Chloe is amazing. She's gorgeous. She's a mom. She's taking care of her mom too. Shout out to you, boo. I love you. Jaleesa's my boo. Mwah. Shout out to you, mom. Lakia, a great supporter of all of my shows. Thank you so much. You're also an awesome mom. Lakia has taken on kids that aren't hers. I think it's amazing when we going through so much and we have children of our own and we struggling and we stretching food and we trying to make ends meet, and we trying to make sure that our kids have everything they need. And then all of a sudden, here comes another baby, and it ain't even our baby that we gave birth to, but we make sure we take care of that baby. Don't y'all think that's amazing? Well, shout out to you, Lakia, because you're definitely doing your thing. Stephanie Cotton, shout out to you, boo. Solange, that's my sister-in-law. Lakeisha White, my other sissy, Sandra Evans King. Sandra Evans King. Evans is her maiden name, y'all. Sandra King, shout out to her. Sandra is the mom of my nieces and my nephews. And I just got to say, it's a certain kind of woman that's able to deal with my brother. So she's phenomenal because of that. Forget the being the mom part, the wife part. Bless you. So, no, but you're phenomenal. You're an awesome mom. And thank you for being a great auntie, too, to your nieces and nephews. Love you so much. Mwah. My cousins, Dia, Summer, Celeste, Bethany, Stephanie, Simone, Anissa, my cousins in New York, Andrea, Deborah, all of y'all, phenomenal moms. Thank you so much. We just got great women in our family. And my aunties, my Aunt Thelma, Aunt Jessica, my Aunt Jackie, my Aunt Cookie, my Aunt Alicia, my Aunt Phyllis, all of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all are amazing women. I am so grateful. God blessed me to be able to have such amazing women in my life, to be able to be examples of the type of woman and the type of mother, the type of wife I need to be. So let us all lock hands. Wait, let me finish this first before we lock hands. Also, my clients. From the Youth Advocacy Program, Sade, shout out to her. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Santira. Shout out to Shantae. Shantae and Santira are new mommies of handsome princes. And so I want to say congratulations to the both of you. You are awesome moms. Every mother that I've mentioned and all the mothers that I have forgotten to mention, Lord knows there's a lot of moms. I just want to say thank you for just being a mom, because so many children unfortunately suffer from not having their mom, or suffer from, their mom just walking out on them, and it's a blessing to be able to be surrounded by so many great women who are mothers to their children. Please, please, please be a mom. By all means, just be a mom to your children. Don't leave that job open for anybody else to do it, because can't nobody do it like you do it. So, which is why I'm still here. Because let me tell y'all something. Y'all know in the beginning I was telling y'all about all of those times when I was sad and I was broken and I was all of that, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to be here no more. Lord, please take me. One of the things I realized the last time I woke up on that hospital bed, well, who gonna take care of my children like I take care of them? I can't leave this earth yet, Lord, because I can't leave them to be taken care of by somebody else. Like, I can't allow that to happen. So I need to make sure that I'm here to take care of them and make sure that I'm here to be a mother to them. So now I've gone from having a desire to just be like, oh, let me climb the highest bridge and jump off, to now I'm like, Lord, please give me the strength to get up in the morning to do it all over again, so that I can be a mother to my children, so that I can guide them, so that I can direct them, so that I can inspire them, so that I can encourage them, so that I can uplift them, so that I can make sure that they not only have the things that they want, the things that they need, but they have the tools to be able to make it in this society and in this world without me. If God decides to take me, I gotta be there every second I possibly can to make sure that they're good. So again, shout out to all of you moms. And if you are a mom who suffers in silence, please reach out to me. I am open to talking to you, to directing you in the direction or the path of someone who may be able to help you. If you need counseling services, inbox me. We'll find counseling services together. You need a therapist, you need whatever it is that you possibly need to be able to break your silence and to be able to get through whatever it is that you're going through. Please reach out to me, and I will do my absolute very best to make sure that I help you in any possible way that I possibly can. That was a lot, right? But I got it out. So going out, I'm going to play a song for y'all. Let's hope it play, y'all. Lord knows, let's hope it play. I'm going to try to play Give Me the Silver one, please. I'm going to try to play a song for y'all real quick. It's in there. All right, hold on. Let me try it. So, or I could sing to y'all. Y'all want me to sing to you? Y'all see my grandma right there? Hold on, let me get close there. And my grandfather. Okay, it ain't gonna work, y'all. Forget it. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this and tell y'all thank y'all so much for tuning in to Rebuilding the Village Talk Show. I know the beginning of the show started off cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but that's because I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and sometimes I gotta get it together. So even though it might have started off crazy, it's gonna end on a good note. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight to Rebuilding the Village Talk Show. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Please continue to be inspired. Share this live. Share this live. Sorry, no, but share the live for real. Hold on.
Aikira said no.
Aikira said no what?
She said no.
Oh, wow, Aikira. I said, wow, Aikira. Kia, I was hoping that you were in here.
She was like, she about to cry.
Oh, I love her so much, y'all. I love my big sister so much. So, she's gonna be a guest on this show too. She don't know, but now she knows. She's gonna be a guest on Rebuilding the Village Talk Show because we're gonna be doing special editions of just Mommy and me. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Mommies Suffering in Silence, and the group is pretty much for exactly what I've been saying tonight, for women to have a platform to be able to talk and break their silence and have conversations with other mothers. It hasn't really been popping like that, but hopefully we can bring it to life. So if you want to go to a group that you can actually, say things like, oh my gosh, my kids got on my nerves today, and not feel like society is going to be like, well, what do you mean your kids got on your nerves today? Or, oh my gosh, my kids driving me crazy. Well, why would you say a thing like that? Because they are. So you can go in the group Mommies Suffering in Silence, and you can post whatever you want. You can vent. You can be free to say whatever it is you got to say. Just get it out your chest, get it out your body, get it off your mind, free your heart, all that good stuff. Go to Mommy Suffering in Silence. Also, follow Rebuilding the Village on IG. Go to IG and follow Rebuilding the Village as well. And don't leave this page without liking this page. So I'm glad you joined the show, but like the page too. And for those watching via YouTube, please go to Facebook to Rebuilding the Village and follow the page, like the page, as well as on IG, Rebuilding the Village. For those from Facebook, go to YouTube. Do me a favor and subscribe to YouTube, Rebuilding the Village, under Aikira Queen. And Lively, hey babes, I'm so glad you guys tuned in. Make sure you go to Rebuilding the Village as well on Facebook, YouTube, IG. Just follow me everywhere, baby, because I'm going to be all over the place. So I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you guys for tuning into the show tonight. I hope you guys shared it live and enjoyed the rest of your night. Mwah. Good night. 120